The day my family disappeared, I built my empire. When I was 19 years old, I worked a brutal, grueling 12-hour double shift at a local diner. I came home, dead tired, expecting to crash on the sofa. Instead, I walked through the front door into total, suffocating silence. Every single piece of furniture, gone. The living room was completely cleared out, the pictures on the walls, stripped clean. On the kitchen island, sitting right next to my house key, was a single yellow sticky note from my mother. It read, "We left for California. You're an adult now. Figure it out." My mind went completely blank. I checked the garage. My father's truck was gone. I ran upstairs. My younger brother's bedroom was completely stripped bare. My own parents, and my brother, had packed up their entire lives, sold the house underneath me, and vanished in the middle of the night without saying a single word. I didn't have a college degree. I had $94 in my checking account. And 48 hours later, the new landlord showed up with a police officer and told me to get out. I couldn't afford a security deposit for an apartment. I couldn't even afford a motel room. So, I moved the few clothes I had into the back seat of my beaten-up, rusted-out 2005 Honda Civic. For 7 long, brutal months. That back seat was my home. I bathed in public park restrooms, lived off dollar store peanut butter and warm tap water, and slept with a tire iron under my driver's seat, terrified every time a car drove past in the dark. Every single night, while shivering under a paper-thin blanket. I read that note in my head, over and over and over. Figure it out. I made a quiet promise to myself in that freezing car. I wasn't just going to survive. I was going to conquer. I took on a third job at a late-night print shop, saved every single penny, and bought a used, refurbished laptop. While other people my age were out partying, I sat in fast food parking lots, leeching off free Wi-Fi, teaching myself digital logistics and software architecture until 3 in the morning. I worked until my eyes bled. I sacrificed every weekend, every holiday, every single comfort. Fast forward 11 years. Through sheer, unyielding, relentless grit, I built a nationwide supply chain firm from the ground up. By 30, I was officially a self-made millionaire. I bought a penthouse overlooking downtown, drove a foreign luxury car, and paid cash for my dream estate on the lake. I had built a life so secure, so grand, that no one could ever throw me into the cold again. And in all those 11 years, my family never reached out. Not on my birthday, not on Christmas, never. Until my business was featured on the cover of a major national business magazine. 3 days after the article went viral, my office desk phone rang. My secretary's voice came through the intercom. "Sir, there's a woman online too claiming to be your mother. She says it's urgent." My heart hammered against my ribs, a sudden rush of cold adrenaline flooding my veins. I picked up the receiver and didn't say a word. A voice I hadn't heard in over a decade came through the speaker, soft, tremulous, and dripping with fake warmth. "Julian, oh my goodness. Julian, is that really you?" I stayed silent. "Darling, I saw your article. I cried tears of joy. We are just so proud of the man you've become." I took a slow, deliberate breath. "What do you want, Linda?" The line went dead quiet for a second, caught off guard that I called her by her first name. Then, the crocodile tears started. "Julian, please. Your father's business went under. We're facing foreclosure. And your brother. He needs $60,000 for a legal settlement or he's going to jail. We're your family. We have nowhere else to turn. 11 years of sleeping in a rusted car. 11 years of eating cold canned food. 11 years of agonizing loneliness. Rushed through my mind in an instant. I leaned back in my executive leather chair, looked out at the city skyline below, and let out a quiet, calm laugh. "You left me with $94 and a sticky note," I said, my voice ice cold. "You told me to figure it out." "Julian, please. We were desperate back then," she sobbed. "Well," I replied smoothly, "now, it's your turn to figure it out." I hung up the phone, called security to block their numbers permanently, slouched back, and smiled. Because for the first time in my life, I was finally completely free.